All right, so today's chat is going to be about what is the best side hustle for product managers. Um, John and Paula, do you want to go ahead and just ask me away? What do I think is the best side project? I mean, side hustle for product managers?
What are you selling aside, bro? Give us the goods.
uh, um, Paola, you any questions from you?
Um, yeah, go for it. Because like I've tried different parts and I know I've gotten the best conversions out of certain PDF files, but I never was able to sell it. And that's my problem.
All right, John, have you tried selling digital products?
No, I haven't set it up,
Okay.
but it's on
All
my
right.
to-do list.
Okay, so yeah, I think if we're gonna have I think for most product managers, I think we're gonna have like a very um basic level conversation. I think selling digital product is probably the easiest and probably the most effective side hustle that there is out there. Because let's just actually clarify like what is a digital product, right? So a digital product could be like resume anything from resume templates, a batch of like case studies, study guides, you know, any type of like workflows, Notion template, Airtable template. So it's basically anything that you're gonna set up that's gonna save somebody time. I think I got the idea from my old neighbor back in New York, where he was selling his MBA study guide. I think that was like the easiest because like you take like most people that study for an MBA, the first thing that they got to do is they study the flashcards, right? So they'll get like a flash. I don't know why I grabbed this thing off the table, but like they'll get like a box of like flashcards, right? And it's wildly inconvenient. They don't really, it doesn't really feel good on the hands or anything on to the fingers or anything like that. You spill coffee or anything, and it's like game over. So he, I think what was really smart about what he did was he bought the flashcards, he sent it over to the Philippines, and he highlighted like a bunch of stuff that he wanted on the actual MBA, like those Kaplan test prep books. And he just told somebody from the Philippines, like, I'm going to send you this thing and I need you to go ahead and prepare it like this. And he was able to just go and sell his whole MBA study pack for about like $100. I think that's pretty easy. So if we're talking about digital products, defining first what is a digital product. I think that's there. I think let's talk about secondly, like why I think digital product is, I think, pretty cool. Most product managers don't really want to show their face too much. Like they're always like, oh, my company has this like bullshit. You just don't want to OnlyFans your face out there. Like the truth of the matter is there's Navy SEALs that are like, so you guys are probably wondering what breakfast we eat here at like the Navy SEAL base in Afghanistan, right? Is like, yeah, this. Um, so I think number one, it doesn't a few reasons why you want to get out there and sell digital product is basically this. You you could basically start monetizing, I think, pretty quickly because the price point is extremely low. So you're not like asking for the world from them. I think if you're selling a course, unless you have like I think a pretty strong following, you have to like people want to get on a call with you. That's actually the last thing I'm trying to do these days is get on a call with anybody. People always ask me like, "Can I get on a call?" I'm like, no, I don't want to get on a call with you, either at a B2C or B2B level. Because at the B2C level, it's like I'm giving you a bunch of like, Alex Hormozzi's like, stop selling B2C, start selling B2B because he was like, B2C, they're just too poor. Like this $500 conversation is like, you're trying to take my child away from me, or like this like $7,000 conversation that we have at Product Gym. It's like, oh my gosh, like, and they also don't want to do the work. It requires effort. like any course that you whip out. If you're doing like consulting, B2B, I think is great. Like they have money to blow at a B2B level, but the difficult thing that you have to deal with like B2B is startup founders can just be assholes. It's like this fractional thing is like can go from like my side hustle to like my 24/7 real fast, right? Like it's not even 9 to 5. It's a 24/7 now. And they feel like, oh, it's I think it's really hard to set up the expectation. So well, you have like courses, you have consulting, and then there's coaching, which I think is just selling therapy in like a different form. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, like it's like, oh, I'll be your product manager coach. Like it's really like, you want to tell me you want to go ahead and spend hours of my life justifying why you've been lazy your entire life and to do nothing with the information that I have to offer you, right? So then it just comes down to like, well, all right, Rich, I get why I should sell it. I get what it is that I'm selling. So I think the biggest question that product managers will have left is like, how do you transact, right? Uh, the platforms that I think is that you're gonna cross paths with is LinkedIn, uh, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, and then TikTok. So you're either gonna go ahead and transact either with like a video, or you're gonna go out there and transact with like your text. So what I did with like these cybersecurity study guides, which was like the way that I looked at it, not knowing anything about cybersecurity, was let me just go ahead and take all the cybersecurity study, like practice questions and everything. Let me just go ahead and pop it into like a digital format. And I don't even have a background in cybersecurity, right? But if I was to go ahead, like the first thing I would need to know is the vocab. So they have like on the cybersecurity exam, like glossary, right? I popped that whole thing onto digital flashcards, and just that alone, I was able to go out there and sell it for like $17 because it's a time saver, right? And I'll give you access into like the actual flashcard deck. So we chose like Anki, and we sold that. Then I took like all the practice questions, and then I sold that. And then I just bunched up like a bunch of the stuff. So my thing was, if it's text, I just have a bunch of screenshots of the actual asset, and I started posting it like crazy on LinkedIn and on YouTube posts and on Twitter and on Instagram stories. The other thing that I did was on the video, I literally just did what like the average 18-year-old kid from the UK that moves over to Dubai does. I'll just take out my iPhone and I'm just showing them like, hey, are you tired of like are you tired of studying for like the cybersecurity exam and getting nowhere with it? So my best ranked video on my cybersecurity channel is 12,000 views, where I literally just take my phone and I'm just showing the flashcards that I just compiled. And it's just like, if you're interested, comment interested, and I'll send it to you. Obviously, for me, I kind of have a little bit of a leg up because I have a huge Filipino assistant team, virtual assistant team. But like within like 24 hours, I had like 17 people say interested, 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 interested. Uh, just from that TikTok, I uploaded the same video on TikTok. I had a bunch of people that said interested too. Um, and I also saw on TikTok my videos where I'm showing the asset got more people to add it into their favorites folder versus like people that would just give me like a like, because they're viewing it as a resource right now. And they'll say like interested, interested. So I'm giving them something that they could clearly very easily do on their own. But like if you turn it around and do it on your own, I just think most people just value, like clearly from what I've seen, they just value their time more. So at a B2C or like a B2B level, we've also seen like a higher conversion off of people purchasing a low ticket and then escalating into a higher ticket. Yeah. And I think like that just gives us like a reassurance that they're just that much more serious because doing a side hustle is hard. Like if you get like I think the perfect price point is anywhere between what I saw was Prime members, $13 to $39. And you pick a Prime number in between it, like $13, $17, $19, $23, 39, upwards to like $39, right? The lower your price point is, the easier for people to just say, fuck it, I'm just gonna buy it. Right. And now you have their name, their email, basically all that other kind of stuff. And then you also have access to their like contact information, and now they're part of your newsletter list. So where I transact is like you can go out there and just get like a free account on Gumroad, Gumroad, and you know, if you want to get fancy, you can automate the IG. I was actually talking about this with John the other day. You can automate the process now on TikTok and Instagram with ManyChat. You know how like on Instagram they have a lot of times where it's just like comment bear and I'm going to send you the and it just automates the message. Now you basically have this thing on autopilot. One of the things that I thought was the craziest was like, well, how do I generate the traffic without having the traffic? If you just keep posting, the traffic automatically comes.
Posting
Yeah.
where?
Like anywhere on Instagram, on TikTok. Like if you just keep on posting and you add the hashtags, like I'll add the hashtag cybersecurity, or I'll add the hashtag product management, or I'll add the hashtag like sales, right?
Yeah, but then it's posting is the pain in the ass. You kind of have to automate it.
Post date? What do you mean the post date?
Posting, you have the posting it of the regular content. That's a pain, unless you have it automated, of course. And even setting up the automation is kind of a pain as well.
Um, like I said, I have EA do that,
Wait,
but
so I'm confused. So they watch you and then do you have it on the description itself as to where they should go, or you would just tell them, hey, just message me, and then from that it's like many chats, and then they would tell them like where to go from
my
there.
first, yeah, so my first version of it was done manually. And then the second version of it, I just automated it. So if I see something that works, I would just record like a new video. And
Okay.
I'm constantly thinking about like, so my first iteration of it was like, I would talk about what is it that I would do, right? My first version of it is I'll just go ahead and talk about what is it I'll do. The second version of it is I just did the iPhone, like I would just show it with my iPhone, um, and I did it in a one take. My third version of it is I got a little fancier with TikTok. So I would run the same title because TikTok allows you to like you can click record, but you can click pause, and then you can
Mm.
keep on recording, and then click pause, and then you click on recording. And then the fourth version of it is like now I just record like you know how you can set up a screen recording on your iPhone, or it's just recording like directly off your screen. That's like the fourth version that I did. So yeah. So it went from like me telling you what a good product manager resume looks like to me now sliding my phone and be like, this is what a good product manager resume looks like. To like, okay, now I'll do a cleaner version of like, now that I have some data to support that people are actually interested about this topic. That's why I throw out like a crap ton of videos, right? Then I'll go out there and actually do the screen recording. So give me a second here. Go out there and
And
give you guys. Yeah, go ahead.
when they because I'm thinking like I actually met someone and she had to cancel her whole event because she was shadow banned on Instagram because she
Yeah.
kept asking people to go to a different link or
Got it. Mm, yeah, the CTA can always just be like, um, the CTA can always just go ahead and be on the comments. So
yeah.
This is the
Well,
crazy.
we're looking at
This
most
is
popular.
well, you go to
Let's see
latest and you go
latest.
to right.
There
You go
you
to
go. Okay.
popular, right? But if you
Yeah.
drop that, that's also why I think like people should just drop a lot of content because you don't know what's gonna hit
Mm,
until like so I recorded this guy here August in one very rainy night in Manila. And so like there's nothing to do, nowhere to go. So I was like I was in my Eminem slash like Little Wayne mode where I'm just gonna record. So I'm dropping like hard content out here, right? So so I had this and I don't know why it just spiked up. And I guess it just like, I'm just telling them like how I would go ahead and approach the CompTIA. Honestly, like I had like we sent them to the wrong link. So it was like, what, $1,000 for flashcards, bro? I had nothing. But like
what did you say to that?
there's
It's
nothing
so
for me to say. Like
predatory.
you went to the wrong link, bro. So we actually changed up the CTA where so okay, so how to pass the CompTIA, right? So now you can go out there and see it where I'm just showing them the whole little thingy. And I'll have like the comments. And it's just like, hey, comment cyber if you're interested, right? So you'll see cyber. So we put like somebody showed me that they put together this whole little study guide together of everything. And I just showed them like what I would do. I would have like a whole checklist and how I'd go out there and prepare about it. And then down to like these are the actual like flashcards, right? So boom, now you have like this clear visual. I got a little bit more. And then let's see here. And then I just kept dropping like videos like this, like harder. And the more that I dropped, like the more I had people that were like actually interested across like multiple platforms. So this was also me doing it with like no so we'll do like so this is like you can automate it with ManyChat if you do like the digital product, right? So I mean if you do like the commenting, so it's like cyber. This one got me a total of like, and I'm showing them the actual thing. This one got me 26 comments, right?
Mm.
So overall, like if you just keep on posting, so what I do instead of sending them to a link, because a lot of times people are like, I don't want to go to a link anyways, right? So let's just assume you didn't get shadow banned. Yeah, platforms want you to stay on the platform. They don't want people to go out off the platform, right? Just comment on it because it's easy now. Now you have like now we can just go out there and have a VA stack up a spreadsheet of like all these people that commented and all these people that are interested in it, and then we just keep on retargeting them either manually or like what have you, So yeah, yeah. What I found with like AI is like, which is why I think it's great what John's doing, is everything just takes time. If um I ask people like 100 times a day, like book a call with us, book a call with us, book a call with us, and we get enough people to do calls, and they'll just pay up for the $7,000 course. You just have to make a decision whether or not you feel like it's worth your time to do these calls after calls after calls after calls after calls to go out there and convince people to take a product management program or a tech sales program or like whatever program, right? This is a good way where it's like you can go out there and monetize while you're putting out effort because it's low key effort. Um, yeah, and then on the back end, like the next thing I'm going to release, what I've noticed everybody's doing is like the more of a proof of concept you're getting selling digital products, now you can just whip out another little PDF on how to sell digital products. And then you're like making money as like a double whammy, right? So I feel like once you get your own proof of concept or get a proof of concept for helping other people, then like, you basically have that. And then you're just like doubling the income stream from there. So that's what I think it is.
Have you been able to connect that with WAP?
Yeah. So I'm still very much on school. Um, like the migration has not been easy. I think WAP, I think their business line is like, um, I think their business line is very geared towards like, um, the content reward side of the game, not really like helping like course creators. But if I started the course from the very beginning, WAP wouldn't have been a bad choice. It's just I already have such a huge audience already on school. What if I like try to move over, I just
Mhm.
lose that audience. But I have seen a lot of school people that have used the content rewards to promote their school, and WAP has no problem with that. Right. So but yeah, so I'll add like an upsell to all of my things, which is like if you want to get coaching, like the upsell is going to be like if you want coaching, if you want feedback, I'll add like a recurring onto it. And now it's like boom, I'll build up a recurring part of the business too. So now that starts looking a lot more fun for John and you, right? Is because like you'll get like an automated 500 or like you get an automated like, 1,000 coming in every single month that you don't have to worry about, but you'll keep on upselling. So it's like you capture them with um a very low ticket price. I start the price off at anywhere between I'll say like $9 to like $13. Or, right now I'm selling up to like $23 to $39. And then on the back end of it is you probably want some type of support, some type of call with me. I'll make the monthly recurring ridiculous. Um, I mean, clearly right now, like school for the product management one, I'm doing it for like at an $87 a month recurring. Um, uh, and I'll get like a lot of people overseas where that price makes a lot more sense for them than something else. But once you actually have recurring, um, you can just go out there and just move people to like wherever it is that you want to go. Because the more feedback that I have from people about what it is that they need, people aren't looking for like more information. People are just looking for more assets. Like if I showed you how to go ahead and put together the perfect product manager resume with ChatGPT, 95% of the people are still too lazy to copy and paste that prompt and then move that shit over to like a Google Doc. So I'm just paying the convenience, right? Like I've done videos where like I think in 2018 people would have just done it themselves. But in 2025, people just value their time more where they're just like, no. It's like, okay, great. Now you do now send it to me at a price. So yeah, yeah. The flashcards that I put together, I mean, the glossary comes directly from the actual study guide, right? It's nothing that people can't do. They're just choosing to not do it. Like there's enough free flashcards apps out there for students, like because a lot of these apps like Grammarly and stuff, they sell it to students. They have to have like a free version. I'm not paying anything for like the flashcards, right? So like they could just very much do it on their own, but like they'd rather not. So
I think this is actually a really good question, and maybe John might have something about this too, because I'm thinking like as a fractional product manager, right? You're I'm if even if you sell something like positioning map or like axes, a competitive analysis, that's just an axis and just like, oh, what's your value and like compared to other competitors and other people. Why would you want to pay for that? Like, or is the whole thing is you have to find where what people will pay for in terms of from that perspective, from a product management perspective. I'm just trying to see like what would be a good sell aside from NAN or automation, which I can see, yeah, but like other things
I
that people
mean,
might be lazy doing, but anyone can do.
I think looking at it from where I stand, from my POV,
Mm-hmm.
I think the better thing to sell, if you were going to sell that, like the positioning map, right, is I would sell it as a side project for people that are looking to get a product manager job. Like this is something that you can show in the interview. So like side projects is what people look for a lot on side projects is what people look for a lot when they're going on the job hunt. Because like if you have like I just explained all this stuff to you guys, right? Like the reason why our program works is I show a lot of shit. Like most of my YouTube videos are just Loom videos if it's long form. And then like on the short form side, it's just like I'll just like show this kind of stuff on my iPhone. People want to see something now. You don't really need fancy editing anymore. You're not making like a little mini Star Wars movie, right? So if you had like a positioning map or like you had like a PRD, right? Um, the people that would like not think about it and buy it are the people that are looking for a job. Because like people that are looking for a job, they're looking for side projects and portfolio pieces that they could show on an interview. So I would first drop what made my offer so much juicier is I'm not going to sell you one resume template, I'm going to sell you 50, right? So instead of saying like one PRD, okay, these are the 30 types of PRDs that you'll be asked to write as a product manager in your first year. Well, they feel like they're getting like that much more value. And then I'll bundle it up and I'll bundle it up because in the world of cybersecurity, there's 4 entry level exams or certifications that you have to take. It's the A plus, Network plus, Cybersecurity Security plus, and then Certified Ethical Hacker. And I was thinking about all selling them individually, and then I just stacked all of them together. So you're going to get the vocab for all 4 exams. You're going to get the practice questions for all 4 exams. You're going to get the resume templates for all these different roles, and I'm going to give you like an interview cheat sheet. I'm going to give it to you all. you know, yeah. So I'll make the offer so good where you feel stupid to not buy it because I'll keep on bundling and adding more and more and more shit in there, and that's why the recurring is good. Is because like when people are telling me like more things that they need, instead of selling more different types of digital products, I'll just keep on stacking it all. So if you feel like you're getting $39 just for some flashcards, like you'll sell it for a little bit. And then eventually, it's just like, oh yeah, it's not that sexy of an offer. So do you give up on the offer? I mean, you already compiled things. Like, no, let's make the offer juicier, right? Let's go out there and add resumes on there. Let's go out there and add LinkedIn on there. Let's go out there and add a background checklist on there. Let's go ahead and have ChatGPT come up with 50 other things that you're going to need as your first year in cybersecurity. And let's bundle that shit on there. We want to make sure that for $39, they're feeling like they're getting 5G's worth of value, like legit value, you know? So, yeah. So it's not about finding like the one, sell it as a bundle. So, like, add all that shit in there, right? So every single week, I'm just adding, this goes from like a buffet for Japanese food to like now I'm gonna do a Korean theme in there, and I'm gonna throw in Thai in there. I'm gonna throw in all this other shit where it's like, oh my gosh, I I'd be stupid to say no on this. So like everything that you and John are doing on the fractional side, I think if you're selling it to like business owners or like startup founders, I think it's a hard sell. But if you sell it to like people that are looking for a product manager job or like looking to break into this, it's like, hey, do you want to be a fractional product manager? Like, or do you want to go out there and be a product manager consultant? These are like 10 projects that I showed as part of my portfolio to convince people, right? So, John, technically speaking, you can go out there and whip up this whole PDF guide in terms of like how what like you could literally do a Loom share. This is how lazy people are, but like laziness is our opportunity. You could literally walk them through on a phone call. This is how I got started on Upwork. This is exactly what I did. And I think back in 2018, people still have, because like, how like one thing I studied about in history is people just keep on getting progressively lazier. Like if it's like 2018, shit, if it was like 1998, they would just go, right? And even if you didn't have a link out, they would just freaking find you on Upwork. copy your whole thing and it'll just whip it out and just literally just do what you did, right? Right now, you can literally copy your Upwork handle and paste it on the YouTube description. And this guy will be like, that's too much work. He's like, all right, for 17 bucks, you can just buy this PDF. And now I can just copy, this is 8 versions because you know how like Upwork has like you could have like multiple Upwork profiles because like because like I'm also a data analyst, I'm also like a marketing automation person, I'm also this. You can just copy all that, okay, and then it's just like it's like on a PDF or like on a Google Doc, and then these are my 30 Upwork cover letters, my 30 Upwork cover letters that I've used. And then, as a bonus, limited time, I'm throwing in the Loom video scripts that I use to go ahead. And this is exactly what I said. This is the exact video, which you won't be able to find on YouTube, right? They'll go ahead and they'll post it up there. And then like, boom, they would much rather just go ahead and have that. Yeah. So, yeah. Like videos right now, uh, don't really like do much. Like in terms of like if there's nothing actionable, this is why like I see the trend of like 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds where they're crushing it is like it's like, okay, you're telling me like this is how I should sell somebody. These are the best cold call openers, right?
Mhm.
Put that shit all in the Google Doc for me, bro, so I can use it. It's like now I just got to go ahead and write it down and think about how I'm going to how I'm going to actionize this information. It's too much work. It's too much work. Yeah, like I used to see all these videos of like the Upwork OGs. They're just like, this is a bad thing, right? Like this is a bad cover letter for Upwork. This is like a good cover letter. Why don't you just put 100 of those in a Google Doc and just send it out? Because I'm not trying to buy something. This is what I notice about people's behavior. I'm not trying to buy something where I'm watching more videos. Because now I got to like it's not usable for me. Um, yeah, the like fitness coaches, they've already cracked it. Is like I don't want you to show me how you're working out, like because if I got to do it to see results, I need a PDF, I need a tracker. Pop all that shit for me on a spreadsheet. So the whole PDF is like, or digital asset that you're selling is what am I saying, getting this person to say yes to, and then boom, they can go up there and move. Like just as I'm talking to you guys right now, I'm getting so many ideas where I would just have like uh how to sell a digital product bundle. It's like, all right, Rich, yes, you sold me on I should sell PDFs. So what the fuck do I do now? Right? That because like there's nothing I can take action like as of this minute right now. If you guys get off the phone, I'm like, what am I gonna do about it? Versus like if I gave you this PDF where it's like ready to go, where you can fire it off, you know, with the gun and the bullet and everything. Now you got something to work with. Uh, hmm, yeah.
That's true.
I mean, I saw a guy where he's just like he posted up on LinkedIn. It's like product manager should be part of a creator economy. Goldman Sachs predicts like the creator economy is going to be like, and he had a whole chart. Okay, I want to be a part of the creator economy. So what do I do now? Like you got to think about like it's time to start a YouTube channel. Like it's time to start like a YouTube channel, right? All right, start a YouTube channel. What am I like? Okay, so let's compile all that info. This is your YouTube channel. This is like your description. This is like the profile. This is like all the different things that you basically need. This is this is like all the things that you found it? Yeah. This is like all the different things that you actually need. Um all the different things that you need. Like this is the profile, this is like the how the photo should be looking. This should be like, instead of giving them like a sample of like, okay, like, you know, these types of banners work, give them like something where it's just like an access where they could just download it and upload it, right? You know, better yet, sometimes like I'm even thinking out loud here. It's like, yeah, if you buy this pack right now, I'll have like my VA like just go ahead and just do the whole like thing for you. We've actually had people where they're just like, can you guys just do like, I'll just pay, can I pay you guys like an extra $100 and you guys just put up the resume, like just do the resume for me? Like, I'm not trying to do it, you know, because like they're like your resume already works. So like for like an extra $100, we'll just get like one of our VAs to just do it for them. Like now I got to go ahead and like watch all this information. Like no, don't do it. Yeah,
Sorry, I got lost. Which problem is this for?
I don't know.
VAs being
Uh,
lazy.
you just
I'm
being a little
sorry.
lazy. No.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
for people who don't want
You
to do
just proved
anything.
his point.
I
exactly.
know. I'm
Like
sorry.
Too lazy
no,
to
no,
pay
no, no, no.
attention.
You don't have to say sorry. I mean,
My attention span is like I got like when because when Rich was talking about digital products as I was doing something, I was like, oh, I could do it from this perspective. So my brain has been there for a bit, and then you start talking about something else. I was like,
your
oh,
your digital product. Okay, getting back to that original question, I'd sell it to job. I'd sell it to job hunters rather than selling it to business owners because I think
yeah.
like if you're selling it to
You'd be
business owners,
Well, that's the thing.
it's
Like, you'd be surprised. Like, for the first few months, people who have been trying to talk to me have been job hunters, and I've just been kind of turning them away, mainly because I don't know how to help them. Because I'm not hunting jobs right now, so I don't know why they want help from me. Is kind of.
well,
Hmm.
you know,
I just don't
reconstruct.
feel that ethical about it, but maybe that was my
You
issue.
don't have to. I mean, reconstructive surgery was really took off during World War II. When we're like helping these guys reintegrate, you know, but when the plastic surgery industry bloomed, which is like, hey, we could. I don't think we're selling it to the right people here. You know, like you know, Viagra was originally like a blood circulation drug, right? And they're like, hey, I don't think we're selling it like you know, you want to sell whatever it is that you got to the people to the most amount of like ready, willing, and able buyers.
Mm,
So yeah, um,
that's true.
yeah, like uh I get 200 to 300 pings every single day from people reaching out, product managers reaching out to me from India, and it's difficult to like convert. Like the $7,000 price point is
Mhm.
impossible in that market, right? They're always asking, they're like, yeah, you know, I see that you're in Asia, you should like come by here and all that shit. And I'm just like, I'm really not trying to like, you know, because it's a completely different market. And I was just thinking to myself, like, that's an extra. I was like, dude, if we're organically, if I'm getting 200 pings like a day, I was like, I think we can do something with that market here, people. I don't think we're looking. Yeah, so it kind of came to me like after 8 years. It's like, let's just get it.
Are you
So
gonna do a separate business for them?
I'm seriously thinking that there is a mon.
Like not a $7,000 worth, but like something that would be around the price point that
I
would convert
mean,
that.
India is going to be the future. I mean, like, I think kind of already is biggest market because it's technically speaking, it's the most populated
Yeah.
democracy
Yeah.
in the world, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
And
you
still
know,
growing too, whereas
yeah,
China's
it's
not growing anymore.
trying to miss their population target by like 800 million people. So like, uh,
Yeah.
that's a lot of people. You
That's a
know,
few.
uh, uh, yeah, well, you know, like the far East Asian countries also have a different approach to economics, which is like, let's do a let's run as fast as we can and let's do it forever, right? So you could either do it or like Japan already gassed out, and Korea, like they thought, South Korea thought like we would never get now South Korea like it's like somebody that hasn't gotten a treadmill for like 4 years, and then China's like, yeah, but we have I, yeah, China would be like a very different market for us too, but like it's like 800 missing your population target by 800 million. That's going to have some serious effects. They won't feel it as fast because they still got a lot of people, but the population is also rapidly aging. I don't know. I'll think about
Yeah.
whipping up some kind of course or something for India because there's definitely a market there.
Yeah.
A lot of businesses are already shipping data centers over there. So I've always wanted to do something there. I mean, my cousin, he married an Indian girl. So I have like family, extended family. Like I met them. Like it was the Chinese side compared to the Indian side was like freaking like 300 Spartans versus like the whole Persian army. You know, like they definitely took up I think like 70% of the real estate. Like damn,
Yeah, it's
it's a
big.
lot of people. It's a lot of people here. So I think we could whip it out, but I would have to study a little bit more about how they do like job interviewing and that market. But you know, if you the two markets that are in the greatest abundance in terms of product management is if you can break into India and you can break into that international market, the international student market, because
Oh,
every single year during graduation time, we get like a bunch of like Chinese and Indian, and to a certain degree, some Korean, but you know, again, population ratio, right? Where they come and they're always coming from the same few schools. Carnegie Mellon, Northeastern University, Duke, and there's like three other schools across the country because they oversell them on like you need to get our masters in information systems, right? Cornell Tech, like you know you need to get your tech MBA, right? And they just think like, oh shit, like I have a job, like I'm gonna do this graduate program and then I'll get a job, but they're it's always been difficult for them to transition into the job. Um, yeah, but
Culture
they'll call us
so
and
different.
try to get. Oh, what's that,
why
John?
is it difficult? Sorry. What did
I
you
Cultural
say?
mean,
differences, yeah. That's why.
there's a bunch of reasons why. Like, yeah, actually, I'll have the conversation right now. You're releasing six, 700 Chinese and Indian kids that on paper look the same person. Their LinkedIn profile also looks like the same person. And they're all using the same freaking resume, right? And so, first and foremost, I don't really feel like unless you have something special to offer, and some of these kids come from like hot companies from the motherland. Like, you know, I've seen people where it's just like, I worked at Alibaba, I worked at Tencent, I worked at Tata. Like, you know, in that country, it's like freaking it. They're like top tier Navy SEAL class, right? But out here, they don't mean shit, right? And then the other thing there is like they apply interview and job hunting tactics that are successful in those countries, but like here it's like we'll hire more on personality. We also hire more on creativity. In Asia, they're just looking for soldiers. Actually, creativity is shunned. you know? We
Yeah.
need battle hardened freaking warriors that can work 18-hour days, 7 days a week, right?
Yeah.
So, but here's like they value like creativity. So they see a lot of international students like, we don't need another body here taking up oxygen. We actually need some ideas and we need some creativity. And they're not even getting that from American talent because American talent is just lazy, right? So they're just like, you know, during COVID, I saw this shit like I had all these Ivy League MBA grads that are like, I was like, why do you guys even want to intern here for free? And they're like, I want to do my own startup. So I was like, because you can get an internship at like Goldman Sachs. And then they're like, yeah, but I want to know what it's like ground up, like when you guys first start. And then during like freaking COVID, there, I was like, so what are we gonna do? Like, you know, city's about to lock down in 72 hours, right? And just, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I was like, yeah. because you can't rate my professor out of this. I was like, you guys are fucking combat ineffective. Now, the people that I did see that were really awesome were the kids that we hired from the community colleges. They're freaking hustlers, you know. So yeah, my poor Chinese kids that grew up on the block, got art rich. So it was literally like, man, I wish I would have filmed it. Like, you know, like the first season of Apprentice with Donald Trump, he had like school smart versus street smarts. And I think some guy that like didn't even have a college degree ended up winning the very final thing. Um, but yeah, but like they go in there, and then I think the third thing is the third biggest challenge is they don't want to invest in more training because they already tapped out from a graduate program. And they're just like, but I already spent 200, you spent $200,000 on the wrong thing. And but they're also aggressive AF because they're like, well, how am I gonna, why are you yelling at me? You're not paying me, bro. No fucking obligation to get you a job for free. You want to kill somebody, go to the career center. Like, you paid them 200 G's. You tell them I demand at least an interview, a resume review, right? So you have like I've had so many international students like just freaking like we see an email with a university handle on it, and if they are class of 24, 25, we ain't talking to them because like there's nothing to talk about. You can't pay, you don't want to do the work,
Mhm.
right? But I think on the other end is like companies don't really find value in hiring new grads because like from the LinkedIn profile, it's all off. You see like a backdrop of UCLA and then their graduation photo. To me, the riskiest person is to hire a new grad because you want to know why?
Mhm.
They have enough data where like 45, 60 days later, there's a 70% dropout rate where it's just like, so talk. I met up with my friends over the weekend and like, I realized I actually don't want to be a product manager. I wanted to be like a growth strategist. And you spend all this time, and you know, people will say like, that's not going to be me. Is like the data is overwhelmingly skewed that it's a little bit more than the coin toss you're going to drop. You know, because like what
They're
people
gonna
think
drop as
product,
a product manager, like
yeah,
after 60 days.
I mean, it's unfortunate, but like the way that a lot of hiring managers, what they tell me, and they won't go on record on that because they don't need a freaking another Reddit thread about them, is it's like CSI Miami makes crime scene investigation look really hot. You know, it's like a bunch of attractive people driving around Miami, dragging celebrities out of the swamp. But
Mhm.
then you start realizing, like, oh shit, I'm taking out guys out of dumpsters that's been like, you know, rat infested and they're feeding on it. And now I got to go out there and freaking like it. There's what like product management looks like from the outside. And then once
Yeah.
they actually do it, they're like, hang on, this isn't the sexy job I was promised. Yo, this is real work. And then they'll hear from one of their friends like, yeah, I'm only working 4 hours a day doing growth or doing like working at a VC or like doing whatever thing it is. And there's a lot of factors why their friend has like a more chill job. There's like numerous of factors why like their friend has like a more chill job. So selling, well, I mean, getting back to the original topic, because I went way off course, is the lower the price point, you just got to go out there and make sure that you're just constantly adding more digital ad. Like it's not what's the best digital ad, like kind of like what we're doing right now, promote each other's brand. Is like people want like mega value, right? The reason why podcasts work, if you see like all in podcasts or like all the other, it's like you're consistently building this like brand, right? People want like multiple perspectives. Um, Most people that are selling a digital product think about how to sell one digital product. For me, it's just like, why do you want to make 8 checkout links or 80 checkout links to go out there and test what people are going to buy? Throw everything in there. Afterwards, Gumroad lets you create as many upsell pages as possible behind it. And once they click the first purchase, you get the second purchase, right? Um, and then you get the third purchase. For me, I think the ultimate hack right now to selling digital product is give them one hot digital product where it's free. Now you have an email. And then as soon as they say yes on that, now we sell them the $17 or the $23 thing, right? And then you can keep on hitting them. Because if you hit them with like an automated email campaign, I'm pretty sure, John, you can whip one out pretty easily.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, right. You just automate that. Eventually you'll just get that conversion. So like send them to whatever landing page. It could be Gumroad, it could be like a Stripe page. Stripe, you could do a landing page on Stripe pretty easily. Um, you can go ahead and send them to like wherever it is they need to go. And then after that, hit them for free.
Gumroads are starting to get pretty popular. I've seen people that are
Gumroad's starting to
selling
get
like,
yeah.
yeah, the N8N courses. They're like, oh, get it for free. And then it brings you to Gumroad. It's like, make a donation. And it's like set to $10. So people are just paying. Of course, I put it to 0 because I'm like,
No, man.
But I love it. I love it though. I
Yeah,
was like, oh
set it
man, I
to
gotta do
zero.
this.
Set it to zero because like once you set it to zero, right, they're gonna opt in, and once they opt in,
Yeah,
right, once they
exactly.
opt
You gotta
in,
provide the email address
you got to
as well.
provide the email address so I can fire it off to
Yeah.
you, and it's like, okay, now you can get this, and then afterwards, give them a recurring coaching thing, and then now you have like you're getting paid to essentially build up this business now because like you can now get interaction like this to get all that feedback to create more digital assets, which makes your offer even juicier. And then you just keep on racking up, racking up, racking up, racking up, racking up. I've had a low ticket guy as a subscription since COVID. Like it was one of my first low ticket courses, which is like how to launch your own course. I don't even sell it anymore because like it's obviously so dated. But it's like 27 bucks, and the guy's been paying 27 bucks a month since like I think May 2020. Yeah, yeah,
You can still sell some. Yeah, isn't there
yeah.
like a shelf life when it
What's
comes to
that?
products? There's a shelf life when it comes to digital products.
You keep updating it, keep adding like, make it a little fancier, change up the font. I mean, like, you know, obviously, I think the time is being spent doing this, right? Like promoting the product, updating the landing page, right? And then constantly adding to the bundle. So like improving quantity and quality always at the same time. But Anthony Bourdain, God rest his soul, like what he said was like, Monday night, I'm gonna go out there and sell fish tempura. Tuesday night, well, I'm just gonna go out there and sell fish surprise. But by Wednesday, I'm gonna add it into a Chilean fish stew, and it's a completely new thing, you know. So there's a lot of ways you can cut a dead animal.
Do you think that you'll ever be in a way where a digital product is selling so much that you don't need to do your consulting so much or like talking to people anymore? Or is that the dream?
Let's do the math, right? Right.
Uh,
And then like I'll bring in like more decks and like I think like more resources. If this is a topic you guys want to look at, the way that I look at it is this: my ultimate, you know how there's that Japanese word called ikigai, like
yeah.
you're finding your purpose. Like right now, we grabbed like a hotel suite. It's my boy's birthday. He flew in from like the States and everything, and I think my ultimate value is like I want more time, right? So if you spend any amount of time cracking a code, you will go up there and crack it. So I think what's most aligned with me personally is like there's all these different things that I could do to make money that I already have a track record. It's like, is this where I want to spend my time? For me, I'd rather get trashed until like 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning shooting shit with somebody looking at the water, which is exactly what I did coming into this podcast hungover as shit. But
I
like,
wasn't, I knew it. Your eyes were red. I wasn't sure. And I was just like, this guy is absolutely.
like this is absolutely blasted, right? Like, so I was actually just thinking to myself, like,
You could have
um,
canceled. It would have been okay.
nah, professional. You know, you got to have that work ethic. But like, I wanted to go out there and cover this topic. But like, I mean, I've been offered like fractional like revenue roles for like launching certain like AI tools for like marketing or for sales or for like job interviewing and stuff, right? And I've always asked myself like, is that really what I want to spend 80 hours of my life doing? Versus like I think low ticket, if we just do the math, okay. If I wanted to make $30,000 a day, right? And I sell and I $30,000 not a day, a month, right? That just comes down to like one round number of like I want to print $1,000 a day. If I want to print $1,000 a day, let's put a price on it. I only really need a $50 product at 20 conversions. So if I can sell something to 20 people, now I'm making $1,000 a day without like I'm robbing a bank without firing a bullet. Right. Right. So and the more time I spend doing something, the better I'm gonna get at it. Cause like this thing I just freaking whipped up like again. I took a look at a bunch of I I just scrolled a bunch of YouTube videos where I was looking at these 18-year-olds like that are like, oh, I'm selling like a digital product and I'm like liking it, comment. And I racked up a bunch of stuff, added it onto a playlist, and I was watching it over again. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch some videos and find out, right? And it's like, oh shit, $23 here. Oh shit, $39 here. So I'm like, okay. So honestly, it's just like if you spend some time, I was thinking to myself, like, well, if I had to force myself to learn any foreign language, I think I freaking could. Like if I'm spending 40 hours doing anything, I know I'm not freaking stupid. So it's like, what problem do I want to solve right now? I was like, $50, 20 conversions gets me $1,000 a day. Now in Asia, that buys a lot of happiness.
Mm.
That buys a
I love Asian
lot of happiness
yeah.
because in 48 hours, I cover rent. Give me another 24 hours, I cover food, right? Like for the month. Another
Yeah.
24, 48 hours after that, that covers entertainment, you know? Now, depending on what your preference, you might need anywhere between another 72 hours to a week to solve loneliness. You know? So now I'm engaged, right? Because I don't want to go there and talk to more people. Like people are always like, "Oh, come on, India." Like we would sell out doing a product management talk in India. I have no doubt. Do I really want to fly in there? I have nothing against the country. Like it could be Sydney, Australia. Do I really want to get in a plane, mobilize myself, and like actually do it? Like, I gotta think about that. But versus me, I'm just like lounging out in my underwear. I got some freaking K-pop songs on, and I'm just like, using ChatGPT and a few other like Canva, whipping up some shit, and I'm in post. Right? So I think 20 conversions. So if we're gonna go out there and solve that problem, I'm just like, well, one product, I don't know if I can sell it 20 times over a day, right? But if I had like a few different like bundles, I can probably go out there and make it happen. So yeah, can I get like divided by three?
I think you have to understand that, or at least you have to have another podcast episode around this. One of the biggest blocks, I think, for a lot of people, not just product managers, but people who are thinking of digital products, is and maybe that's where you should touch on manifestation or whatever, because I know you talk about that, but at least I can imagine a lot of product managers just like, but that's so much work, or but why would, or the ones that's very normalisms, the imposter syndrome. It's just like, why would they buy from me? There's so many out there. Like, why me?
You know how much money I made off of selling cybersecurity study guides? I've never taken that exam before in
That's
my
what
life.
that's what like you have like for me, like that's amazing because I literally I'm having a tough time trying to convince myself that I'm even qualified for this, even though I have built so many more products and I've worked in startups. Like it's really difficult. to
You
get.
know what? Hilariously, I'm looking at John's face right now. John's like, "That's the opportunity because I don't have a problem with that."
Good for him.
I'll start
No,
selling
I'm trying to
cybersecurity
sell my
devices.
AI chatbot. That's what I'm trying to sell.
Oh, good for you guys.
I got it working, but it's Meta. It's a whole different story. But if
Dude,
you guys want
let
to
me
see,
know.
I can show you.
I'll promote it to the 20,000 subscribers I have right now.
Yeah, we can take
Uh,
a cut, but the problem is I need to get approved on Meta first, which that's a whole different
um,
ball game, man. I finally got it working. It's cool.
I,
It's really cool. It's an
I mean,
actual
while
AI
you,
chatbot on Instagram, and it works.
dude, I love that. Like,
Yeah.
I think like, I watch this I doom scroll like a lot because I'm just not that motivated to do real work anymore. Is like, um,
Enjoy, you're in Asia. You might as well.
yeah. So like, I was scrolling, and somebody asked Tom Cruise for the recent Mission Impossible movie because he's been coming like going all around the world promoting it. They're like, how do you like do all these? Because like the guy does all these stunts himself, and he's like 62 right now, right? I don't think I'm gonna be looking like that 62. But like they're like, how do you keep up? And he's like, well, I train like a soldier. And they're like, but what about like fear? Like, aren't you scared? Like all that shit. He's just like he's like, a lot of times we don't really strategize about how we're gonna attack like an airplane scene until it's the day of the shoot. You have all this planning, but once you actually hold on to the, and mind you, they're paying for the airplane, like I think it's going down in real time, right? He's like, we'll figure it out on there. He's like, I'm just gonna figure it out. And you're like, how do you deal with fear? And he was like, I just interpret fear as like excitement. And he's like, I just know most people won't do it. So I get a lot of trolls too, where it's like, he's not a product manager. Guy was a recruiter. And I was like, yeah, but I'm making more money than you for a reason. Because like while you're out there bitching about it, I'm doing it. So that's that's just what I realized. For 3 years, I kept looking at the boot camp industry and I kept telling myself as a recruiter, I would murder these guys. The girl that I was dating at the time, she was just like, so why don't you just do it already? And I was like, because I'm fucking scared. But like, yeah, but anyways, we ended up breaking up. But like, and I was like, I haven't fucking do it. Like when I did it, oh my gosh, I still remember my first sale. I just started talking to people like, like, hey, you want me to take a look at your product manager resume? And the first guy I had sit down at that WeWork on a Saturday, he took the train in from New Jersey to come and see me. And he was just like, I was like, yeah. He's like, so how much is this going to cost me? I was like, it's only going to cost you like $300. And that guy was just like, okay, yeah, sounds reasonable, right? He handed to me the money in cash. It was like those drug dealer scenes where like, the first bag of coke they ever sold. And I'm like, at that moment, I knew this is what I wanted to do every day of my life for the rest of my life. I was like, damn. And then like this, like a few other people came in, and then like this one Chinese girl came in with like her Chanel bag and her freaking Tiffany's bracelet. Like, yeah, it's gonna cost you $1,000. And she's like, I mean, do you take Venmo? And I was like, yeah, I take Venmo. I mean, I didn't even have a website up at that time, right? I was not even a product manager. Uh, yeah, and then it was just like, so now, I mean, now that I took $1,000, now I'm not trying to give that money back, right? Now I got to figure out how I'm going to get this investment banking analyst a product manager job. And basically, well, it's like it starts with just getting like, okay, let's get some like round ones, let's get some round twos. Up until that time, I was only working with people that already had a PM background. I wasn't working with people that didn't have a PM background. But eventually, I had to like hire instructors and stuff. Um, we hired like some people that trolled me. But my co-founder, who is also a product manager, I partnered up with, he started helping me out. So I think like everything just started. Think about what it is that you can really like scale. So the coaching stuff is great, but we actually have our own kind of chatbot thing that's up right now too. I'm going to be doing more active promotion on it. It's called Dojo AI, and it's basically a bot that we train that can pop all your sales scripts on there and train your cold callers to be better. We're using it and it actually works because it's added like like I said, I don't want to talk to these people anymore. So but at the same time, how are you going to find somebody that can sell as good as I do, that has the recruiting knowledge and the product management knowledge is like kind of hard. So we used it for our own team members, and I was like, okay, now that is something I want to be a part of because like I don't want to do more calls. Um, yeah, so yeah, I mean, yeah, John, I'm all for the community. No cut required. Like you need me to give you a shout out, I'm like more than happy. I gave one of my old students like a shout. He just launched his newsletter. It's basically just ranting about product management. He's like a former Microsoft and like I'll go out there and be like, check out my boy's newsletter, like da 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 da. He told me it made like a little bit of a difference. Um, yeah, Paula, you just gotta just do it. I dropped the tech sales
Yeah.
newsletter, and working IT recruiting is not exactly tech sales. Within 24 hours of me dropping that tech sales newsletter, I got like 2,000 subscribers on LinkedIn.
Wow.
Yeah, so just start with the first step. You guys are doing it right now for other companies. You guys have already done it for other companies. You know, like
Yeah, for me, it's about getting consistency, I think, because I've done different things, and I'm just like,
mhm.
oh, now that I've secured my first client, now I'm just like, oh, now it's a lot easier for me to just do what to actually market myself because I'm not feeling as desperate as I was for like a few months. I think
Yeah, I mean,
that's like
like
a
just do it. I'm wearing the Republic of Korea Army shirt. I've never served. I'm not even Korean, right? I live in Korea, but like I've never served a day in the Korean military. Like,
I know Korean. It's
me,
first, yeah, you just know Korean.
I grew up with a lot of Korean people,
Okay. That's
like a lot. But
um,
I'm living the dream now, hanging out in Korea with other Koreans, speaking Korean, pretending to be Korean. Yeah, but I learned the language before it became cool. Yeah,
that's all right.
before it was this well marketed. Yeah, but Sean, you want to show us that bot? Wait,
Sure. I'm trying to work on another, and I'm obsessed with N8N now. I'm like doing my client work like in the mornings, and I'm spending the rest of the day N8N. It's just these automation flows, man. They're
Is
blowing
your
my
NAN
mind.
for your client or it's a different, it's
I'm
a
like
side
guinea
project?
pigging it for my client, and then I'm just like, rolling it out. But now I'm working on a workflow that will like scrape Google Maps and put it into it's a really long workflow, but it's going to scrape Google Maps based on a keyword. It's going to filter out all the bad stuff, like, no websites or whatever, bad data. Then it's going to put into Google Sheets. Then after that, it's going to check the website. I'm not joking. There's like an AI agent that's going to check the website for each, like, one in the Google Sheet. And then it's going to like craft like an email, a personalized email based on all the information that it found. So trying to get this running because I got it for free off LinkedIn, but man, is it hard to get running. There's just so many things that are going wrong and there's no instructions. So it's kind of like, yeah, here you go, figure it out.
dude,
Sorry.
I think you're such a rock star because like I
Mhm.
think like most like product managers like they overthink it. Like I feel like you're like all over LinkedIn too. You're like comment, post, you kind of like share shit. Like most
I'm just
PMs are
going
just
full
like,
nerd.
yeah, they're just like, but what is there to think about? You're gonna be 40. You know, like you're gonna be like 50, so you might as well just go out there and just run. Let's freaking go. But what do we wait for? I think like when I launched school too, I had no idea of like hosting online communities, and it just starts with like just rallying some people in there. So yeah, yeah, that's my
I
favorite movie is like, yeah, the Martian movie is like where the
I
guy's
love
just
the
like,
Martian.
you love the Martian?
Yeah, it's a great movie.
The,
Yeah.
the one
Yeah,
where
Matt,
like
Matt
the date
Damon,
said,
or no,
Matt
yeah.
Damon.
Yeah, Matt Damon is trying to come back to Earth, and he's just like,
Oh, wait, different one.
yeah, he's like, I'm not gonna die here. It's like, all
Matt
right.
Damon, the botanist.
Literally,
Right,
he's
okay.
in the bottom.
All right. Okay, so take a look. This is my Instagram page that I just whipped up. And so I'm chatting
Nice.
to it from my normal page. And on the right-hand side, we see the N8N flow, and you see there's some successes, some failures. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk to it. Hey there. And I'm sending this message from my personal account. So as you can see now, it says it's running here where my cursor is. So basically, it's running the execution that you see, and it just succeeded, and I got a message back. So it's a pretty complicated flow. Basically, it gets like the webhook from Instagram. It throws it into the AI chat. The AI chat has a prompt there. I'm telling it what it is, what it's supposed to do. Basically, I want it to ask, like, these are gonna be clients, right? So it's gonna be asking probing questions like, how can you help my online business grow, something like that. And so it
Right.
also has access to a knowledge base. A knowledge base is like it can search within documents and find answers. So see, like I can help your business grow by implementing AI automations and blah, blah, blah through personalized solutions. So I can give it like an FAQ, like, okay, like how much will this cost, something like that.
Got it.
Yeah, so it can, and then it can currently don't have access to pricing, factoring, or whatever. Okay, do you offer a consultation, maybe? Like I spelled consultation wrong. Let's see if it understands. Consultation. Oh, look at that. See, it's smart. It understood that I made a spelling error. It still got my calendar, put it in there, said you can get her, consultation. But yeah, basically you can I can make it even smarter. I can even get it to check within my schedule and kind of like do it that way. But right now I'm just, throwing a link. But this is what I got working. So right now it only works with approved users, which is me. I approved myself so I can talk to myself. But to make this public, yeah, Meta is like you got to register your business. You got to prove that you register your business. You got to submit like this 20-page document explaining all of your use cases and stuff like that. I'm like, damn, why so much work, Meta? But yeah, that's it.
Dude, so what's the approval process looking like to get on that thing?
Yeah,
Like,
you have to have like a legit business. So I spun up a website. I registered my business, Canada. I could do
51st
it in the
state of the US?
States. I could do it in the States, but it's more expensive in the States. It takes longer. Canada, I know Canada, so it's faster and easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the 51st state of America, man. Like,
I know, man. I know. Yeah.
you
It'd be
know,
nice.
you
I
guys
mean,
just
I already
manage.
earning US dollars for my clients, so might as well just make it official, right?
I mean, that's the one thing that I think people really like about Trump is the guy would just the guy can manifest like a freaking unicorn, dude. The guy, like, I'm pretty sure like that guy had it on his vision board. Like, we're gonna call it Gulf of America, and Google is gonna say yes on Google Maps, that it's Gulf of America. We're gonna take Greenland. We're gonna take Canada. We can do it. We can really do it.
I got
Yeah.
business noon right in the background. Like in the mornings, I work from home and I got the TV on. I got like Bloomberg on, and Trump's been holding a lot of press conferences lately. And so like you just hear his voice come on because they always, whenever Trump speaks, they just put it onto him. Like they'll be mid conversation interviewing like an executive from a company, and then like out of nowhere, one of the reporters will go, "Oh, what's that? Oh, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to cut you off. Donald Trump's coming on. He's talking about something right now." And they just abruptly switch to Trump, and then he's up there and he's like, "It's a great new bill. It's a great new bill." And you hear like the
Right.
reporters chuckling in the background. Everyone's just laughing. And I don't
It's a
know, man.
great new bill. It's the
Yeah, it's like
greatest
whatever.
bill.
Yes,
They said they never seen a bill better.
it's just the
Okay.
stupid stuff.
It's like it was better than anything they've ever seen before. They love it. They all love it. You know, I think the
Yeah.
funniest one was like, I think the funniest one was the one with China, where he's like, "We just reached a really good deal with China. They were happy about it. They're happy about this than they could have ever done with Biden." And like, cause like I understand Chinese, right? And then the Chinese news is like, no, we made progress. And we would really urge the president of the United States to go out there and use correct vocabulary. We made progress. We've
Oh,
had
but
no
even
deal.
before that, he was like, "Oh yeah, we're having talks with China. We're having great talks. The talks are going very well." And then Chinese are like, "We haven't talked to them once."
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And then
Um,
he just I don't know. Then they actually started talking, and then next thing you know, oh, we actually had a talk. It's just I don't
uh,
know. It's the most wild thing what's happening in the world with Trump.
but
Makes me laugh
he'll
every
keep
time.
saying it, and then it's just like, yeah,
It
I get all
happens,
these,
yeah.
I get all these texts that are like, I get all these DMs where people are like, that guy is such a, I was like, dude, I was born and raised in Los Angeles. It's like, that's as democratic as it freaking comes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the guy is winning, the guy is winning hard. Um, people love winners, you know, people love too much. That's all my hashtag now is hashtag too much winning. You're gonna win so much. But like, yeah, he's you know he's letting white people feel okay to feel be white again. You
No,
know,
the most wild thing is he stopped all migration from like countries that actually are like, people from countries that are actually experiencing like bad stuff, and they're like refugees, and then he stopped all refugees from all countries except South Africa and except white people. It's just,
I
have you
mean,
seen that? And
yeah,
there's like 20 or 30 people came from South Africa. They like a plane came in straight from South Africa, and like 30 people got off. And it's all like white farmers. I mean, granted, like it's like, yeah, some of them are actually being, murdered, and it's that sucks. It's life. But like
yeah.
they made a big deal of it, like, oh, millions of them are being slaughtered. Like, there's not millions of white people in South Africa. Get out of here.
Well, I mean, it's
Such
just like
bull crap.
when the Ukraine war popped off, right? Like, so many people were like, so many comedians went after the news networks where they're like, when they saw the again, people, these are everyday Ukrainians, Christians, white people that are leaving their homes. This is not, they're like, this is not serious. And people were like, yo, bro, how, people getting slaughtered every single day. But like, you put a white face on it, and it's like, these are good people. It should, yeah, the double standard is, I mean, well, you can get that anywhere. Like LA, I think it was hilarious too. Like when they're coming news, like, these are celebrities. This is Malibu. They don't deserve, because there's a fire that's going on in the eastern part of town and the western part of town, where it's like more celebrities were living at. They got way more news coverage than the eastern fire. That's like
Yeah.
actually closer to where my parents live, right? Like, but it's like a predominantly like Asian and Hispanic neighborhood. And they're just like,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 like all the resources, we are trying to divert all available resources, to like Malibu. Yeah, but I mean, in this crazy world, I feel like just as I was talking to you guys right now, I had 8 low ticket sales transact. So,
Oh, yeah.
and I like that, like I don't want to do call. So I guess like what like but the cold
Got some
calling
Stripe
thing,
payments coming in. Nice.
dude, nothing gets me freaking more amped up than seeing that Stripe notification. I have
Oh yeah.
turned off all notifications except for Stripe.
Have you guys follow X Twitter? Like, you go on there?
Mhm.
There's like a big community of people, building stuff, and they're all pretty much just taking screenshots of like their iPhone, and it's just like stripe, 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 and they're all just showing off. And then
Yeah,
there's the people that are like, got that one $10 stripe payment, and they're showing off the dashboard, and it's just like a flat line. Then out of nowhere, it shoots up. to that one payment for $10 and it goes flat like this. And the guy's like, I got my first SaaS sale. Woo. It's like, yeah, yourself. And it's getting like 1,000 likes. It's like, bro, the
Hey,
dude just paid himself.
hey, that's where it begins.
Yeah, respect that, respect it. Yeah, yeah. It's a big thing on
What should
there.
we cover? What should we cover next week, folks?
That's a Paula
What should
question.
huh?
What?
What should we cover next week as we're gonna go ahead and wrap up?
Uh, I don't know what's in there. What's there next week? Um,
Joining your tribe. Coming to Digital
The
Nomad Product
Wi-Fi,
Manager.
the Wi-Fi tribe.
Yeah.
but yeah, some people ask me just like, oh, did you do your own business because you want to be a digital nomad? And I was like, I've been a digital nomad before needing a business, so you don't need that. But I mean, you don't even, the lifestyle for it's very different than if you just work every day in the office. That's for
I
sure.
mean,
I wonder if I think there's more back to offices now, right?
Yeah.
That's
There is. Yeah.
so I think
there,
that.
what like the
Like
going back
moving
to
people.
the going back to the work from home ending. That thing is very real. Um, and I I think businesses see it as like a win-win. It's like if people actually do want to go back into the office, if they're successful, it'll really stimulate like the local economies because like
Hmm.
like people buy lunches, people buy food, people start traveling again, and then the after work, all that stuff. Because a huge part of any revenue for any nation state is collecting property taxes, right? So if companies no longer need these like military base size offices, that's a huge problem. Um, at the same time, if people choose to quit, then that's just they don't have to pay severance off of that mother longer. Right? They don't have to give like any type of like severance package. So it's like a win-win either way. But I think yeah, we should probably talk about like is work from home ending, digital nomad life. You guys really want. Um,
Everyone here technically has experienced digital nomad life now, I assume.
yeah. I think
Three
starting
of
next
us.
week too.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think starting next week too, I want to rally more of a live audience. I actually did not know we had a one viewer this whole time watching us like talk this whole time. But I
Hey.
yeah,
Oh,
right. But yeah, let's damn. But like I haven't really actively promoted it, so I would love to
love to know what digital nomad life is for men, actually,
for
compared to
men.
women. Because I wonder if there's a big difference. Because sometimes you guys say
Yeah.
things and I was like, that's bullshit. But then the both of you are just like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I was like, what? That makes no sense.
I'll
I mean,
give you an example. I'll give you an
there is
example. So
yeah, I think there's the mystery of the American digital nomad, the allure of it, or like the Canadian.
I've been, I don't know if you guys have ever seen this reel before.
But
It's like that bro that travels for
Yeah.
culture. And all of my friends have been sending it to me. And so I eventually just put it on my story. I'm like, you guys all know me too well. And
what's your
all my
favorite?
buddies are replying to it, just all dying laughing. I'm like, God damn it. I'm that guy that travels
What
for culture.
where is like
God.
yeah we actually got like so much engagement off of like for our tech sales class like best jobs for passport bros because
Yeah.
like we ran like a ad like you guys want to work anywhere in the world make unlimited commissions like you should be in tech sales and we ran the ad on Pornhub. Oh, fucking it's skyrocketed. It's like some guy like
It's all dudes, yeah.
dude every day around like 11:30 p.m. to 2:15 a.m. Eastern time. It's just like here it comes. It's
Oh, that must
rally.
be the most competitive slot, I'm guessing. Like the cost
Not
per click is probably the highest, but most eyeballs, so yeah.
I mean, we're only really competing against like the hair loss treatment, and like, you know, we're not like really competing against like other like career trends,
Hey,
like yeah,
I
tech
did
boot
the hair
camps.
loss treatment, man.
You did?
I did a full transplant. Yeah, yeah. So that's
Oh,
a
really?
new hairline, man. Yeah.
No
Turkey?
way.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. I got done here in Mexico too a year ago. This is like
Oh,
a year.
No.
Yeah, man. I had the M, like the actual M, like back by this much on each side. Yeah, so this is all implanted hair here.
oh.
So do
Yeah,
you get
man.
like haircuts and stuff?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you see, it's normal hair
Uh,
now.
for the first few months, well, I didn't have any hair. They shaved off my hair. So yeah, I didn't have any hair and I had like the red marks and I was hideous. I looked like a zombie.
Oh my
But time goes
gosh,
by
dude.
so fast. So I was like, I'm just gonna do it. It's terrified to do it, but you know.
Why Mexico? I thought everyone goes to
The
Turkey.
turkey.
Yeah, Turkey's got the biggest scams. So I was just talking to them
Oh.
there, and they get you on. I was like, it's only $1,000, and then you but 1,000 here, 1,000 there, 1,000 there, 1,000 there, $2,000 flight, you know, whatever, like return flight, and it ends up being like over 5,000. In Mexico is like 3,000. So I was like, ah, Mexico it is, and
Yeah.
really good quality too. So I was happy
Korea
about
is
it here.
really good too.
Yeah,
But like, yeah, we're competing against like the hair loss bros, you know, and
tough
you
market.
know, but yeah, man, I made contact with them. Like, we don't have to be in competition because I think a lot of our clientele would also love the hair loss treatment.
Yeah, it's a compliment. It's a complimentary business, that's for sure. It's
It's
like people who do nail salon and facial at the same time.
right. Uh, yeah, let's do it. I mean, if
Talk about passport bros next.
being a passport,
It
I mean,
it
technically,
trends.
John
Are
and I
you
would
guys
would
do you consider yourself passport bros?
uh, maybe.
okay. I would like to think that I'm a little bit cool. Well, I can only speak for myself. I would like to think I'm a little bit cooler than your average passport pro, but in terms of like the
Yeah,
textbook
same here.
dictionary, the textbook like definition of a passport pro, I think unfortunately I do fit that mold.
What is a textbook dictionary definition of it?
Well, I think now we're having a fun conversation.
I
Like
mean, like, I mean,
what a
this
pass.
would be the one that's gonna get you a lot of views because I'm also interested in like what's the
Yeah.
textbook definition of it.
Yeah, Richard, tell us, man. I want to know.
Don't put me on the spot. You've gone to more exotic destinations than I have. I
Bro, I
mean,
even learned Spanish. That's how passport bro I am.
You learn Spanish.
Yeah, I mean, I like literally study an hour per day. I've been doing it for 2 years now. I'm conversational Spanish. I go on dates, like 2 hour dates. I'm just speaking Spanish. I'm really bad at it, but you know, it's enough.
well, I think like the definition of like, you know, I think the image that passport pros have is like, hey, you know, I'm tired of like the dating scene in the West, right? Like, yeah, think like US, UK, Canada, Australia. Like, I can't really say for like Australia, but they'll say like, oh, I want to go ahead and leave, and I want to find like a girl with like more feminine values, or like they'll say they'll pay that a little bit nicer. Like, I'm looking for somebody with more traditional values,
Traditional
right?
values.
Definitely somebody that is an avid subscriber to, you know.
But what is the difference that you found so far for based on your experiences?
Well, I think like if you're talking about 80% of the passport pro market doesn't really have a job. Like they're just
Yeah, it's true.
they
They're
don't
just
they're like trying to
travelers
yeah, they're just like traveling. Like I mean I've met a bunch of
living
them
off
like
of
in
debt,
Thailand. It's
savings.
definitely in passing. Like I definitely don't congregate in that circle. Like for me, I actually have like a team in Asia. I am Asian.
Mhm.
And technically speaking, being Chinese American living in Korea, I'm only really going next door, right? Like,
It's true.
uh, like for some like white guy that's from like, you know, North Carolina, I'd be like, yeah, I'm in Thailand right now. I'm only paying $400 a month for rent. I get to live in this high, right? You know, and meet my soulmate. You know, it's like, yeah, I don't think I've gone there yet. But
It reminds me
yeah,
of the White Lotus, like that scene from White Lotus, and always Oh my, I don't know if John, you've seen it. It's just like the latest White Lotus and this on Thai in Thailand.
No,
And
I
it's
haven't.
just like I just want to be I am an Asian girl. Or like or was it? I just
Yeah. I've unfortunately watched that monologue a few times where the
it's
guy's
such a good
like,
monologue. It's
the
amazing.
guy, I think that was a lifetime achievement monologue where he talks about like hanging out with Asian, where he talks about being an Asian girl,
Being
and the Walter Goggins character is just like in complete shit.
it's amazing.
Uh,
But that's the thing, like when I was in Japan, every time I see like a lone white guy, I'm a bit like suspicious. Like
Passport, bro.
that's that's what I was thinking.
you you
Every
you
time
you
I'm in a like specifically Asia though, I'm just like I'm a bit more like, ooh.
We're everywhere.
I I used to think I was the only one. No, that's the hilarious thing that I find about Asian people that are like, oh, America's like, because I've also met a bunch of Asian Americans that have come back in my previous 1 year of digital nomading
Mm.
is like, and I never thought I'd be like a digital nomad, this pre-midlife crisis that I'm on right now. So like, that was very, very, very well built into New York, but like, I think the hilarious thing about it is, like, yeah, and they're like, go home to your country. And I'm like, bro, you're talking like you love seeing white people in Asia. Like, I was like, every Asian person I met low key is racist. Or when they see a non-Asian person in Asia, they're like, what are you doing here? Until it's your friend from college that's visiting you. And you're like, yeah, not that guy. Like I know that guy. Yeah, no, but I left America. I mean, at some point I'm gonna go back, but I left because I just think that things have gotten so expensive where I don't really feel like I'm getting any value back. New York, I've eaten that ridiculous, 4,000, 5,000, $6,000 a month price tag, but I felt like the premium was worth it. So as long as the people were there, but I don't know if I'm getting aged out or if my friends like the more of your friends start leaving or like the more people stop coming in. I just felt like, well, I could live in an equally nice building somewhere else for a way lower rate. And then I can also get a lot more productivity done because most of my calls now, all my coaching calls are, people want to do it after 6 p.m., 9 p.m., 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern time. So if I was in the US, I'd be just working. Like I would just give up all my nights because that's what's required right now to get people jobs, right? Because they need coaching. They're all bandwidth out. They don't want to watch any more videos. The ones that do can, the ones that can do it. But most people need me to be like, apply, apply, apply. What if they ask me the salary question? Say I'm looking for a market rate. But what about, but what about? It's like, stop being such a little and just do it, you know?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so like I felt like, okay, in Asia, I could just go out there and work. Like my mornings are, you know, nighttime for you guys, so I don't feel like I'm sacrificing my overall quality of life. But at the same time, like when like you guys are asleep, we're getting so much work done here on the Asia side. So it's like we're putting out two, three times more productivity than like the average American company, like our competitors are. Because one co-founder is driving the ship in America and he's cracking the whip on it every single day, which is my counterpart. And then the other co-founder right now is doing the same thing, right? So we're essentially speaking, we're like double dragon tag teaming. Um,
Guys,
but like I'll
serious question. So I'm gonna go back to Canada in like a week. I'm gonna post up there for a few months. Then after that, I need to decide. Am I gonna go back to Latino America and spend some time here and kind of live here, or should I go to Asia and play the digital nomad game slash passport bro game over there from Thailand or from Malaysia or from Korea or from
dude, man, come
Bali
out
again?
here. It'll be like
I don't know, man. I don't
John
know.
Wick times two, man.
How important is like the time zone for you? Because that's the only reason why I would consider South America again.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that with my clients, like they wanted to talk to me like afternoon, but they never want to talk to me in the afternoon. It's only in the morning. And that's the morning EST, which is perfect. That's like absolutely perfect for, Asian time because you just do calls at like, 8, 9, 10 o'clock PM, which isn't bad. It's pretty easy actually.
John, come to Asia, man. We fuck shit up. We
But
freaking we
I
would.
feel I feel like I've spent invested so much time into learning Spanish and now I'm actually pretty good at it. I feel like I've wasted this investment if I don't spend more time
Not that
in
big of an
Latino
investment.
America. Huh?
Yeah,
Not big.
yeah.
I mean, I learned Spanish. It's not big of an investment. Just go to Asia. You get more
It
money
is
anyway.
it is for me. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. But I don't know. I'm
Dude,
really bad at learning languages. So it's taking me like on like 600 hours to learn this.
dude, the only language you need to learn is US dollars, right? Like
Those
we would
Benjamins.
dude, we would murder Tokyo, man. Yeah,
I love Tokyo. I
I
love Tokyo. You
love
guys are
Japan.
so.
I love Japan. But like the thing was like I don't really consider myself a passport bro because like I was dating Asian girls in America in LA and New York. Now I'm just dating Asian girls from like the motherland, so
Well,
I don't feel like
to
it's like this like
to expand
fetish.
on the definition of passport, bro, it's like you're meeting people, let's call it people in other countries, and these people have never like, really met a foreigner before. Completely different cultures. They have no idea how to talk to them. They've never left like their hometown, for example. Like that's an example of a passport, bro. Broadening the horizons of said people in said small little town in the middle of
Okay.
nowhere. That's
I don't know if
that's
I should be
passport,
the
bro.
one giving you this advice, but if you're so afraid of the language thing first, you can start off like in the easier countries. Like I would say Philippines is an easy country for white people, especially when it comes to English, because people there can speak it. And then if you really want to like dive into that passport bro thing, you go to like these like specific islands that are mainly for nomads. Like Siargao is mainly for nomads. Like when I was there, I
Jargo?
swear to God,
Yeah.
there's tons of Spanish people. And my friend and I, my cousin and I were there. We were thinking of talking to Spanish guy because my cousin wanted to live there because my cousin's from Costa Rica and she wanted to live there. But there's this girl, when you spoke about like this, like never talking to a foreigner or whatever, this girl, I swear to God, she kind of can smell the two of us wanting to talk to this guy. Not because we wanted to flirt with him. We literally just wanted to know his experience being a Spanish guy in Siargao, because my cousin doesn't know that guy. She's Spanish, she's from Costa Rica. And this girl can smell us. She kept talking, asking this guy, what are you doing? What is it? Like just flirting and flirting and flirting. And the guy just doesn't even want to talk to her. And then so there was this lull of silence, and this girl just started singing just so that he doesn't start talking to us. She starts singing, and there is no music. So when I tell you that there is that passport bro mentality, those girls are ready for it, and they know. Like
Yeah,
my cousins call them like they're scary as fuck. They are scary as fuck because
like
that is their like ticket. That's their golden ticket in the Charlie's Chocolate Factory.
well, I'll
Great
also go
analogy.
ahead and add this one more thing about passport bros before I'm gonna go ahead and click off. But South Korea is not a passport bro destination.
I don't
Uh,
think like South Korea and Japan. I don't think
because
it's that big of a.
it's
Uh,
actually like I would
Japan,
say
yeah,
from yeah, well, no, that's a
a
different story.
little,
But
a little.
yeah, like I think like also like I would say a passport bro is probably dating a girl that whose like income scale is like a little bit, I'll say a tad bit lower than them. Like the people that I've been talking to, I mean, they're making New York rates, right? So like that are quite well educated. Um, but yeah, let's like Passport Bros. I think that's a freaking hell of a topic. That
Clearly, we just talked about it for like 30 minutes and we're not done.
I mean, yeah, if I didn't have to go, I'd talk about it freaking some more. But like, I think the interesting thing that we're kind of moving towards right now is I've always kind of pride myself on like kind of spotting trends. Is that people do value being mobile, and I think this idea of like a set home is like it's kind of somewhat disappear, at least until like somebody has like a kid, because then you can't be as mobile anymore. Um, yeah, so I guess next week's topic is a little bit more of a follow up on digital products. Maybe I think probably I think if I threw up a banner out there of Passport Bros for product managers, it's like Passport
Yeah.
Bros, Passport Bros for product managers Asia edition, and then we follow it up with Passport Bros product managers Latin America edition. I would probably I think
I
Asia would
got some
win.
good stories. I got some good
Yeah, I
stories
think
for both.
yeah. Passport Bros, product management passport, Asia
It's,
versus Latin America.
I
Oh
Yeah,
think
my,
it
let's
might
go.
be
Let's go. Let's
worth
get it.
Asia.
Follow
was
you're the
that?
Sure.
moderator.
Huh?
Where?
Moderator. We need you to. We need some live screen sharing from John here about his freaking experiences. You could probably sell like
Too many. Too many.
Digital
flirting and
products for 600 hours of Spanish lessons for Passport Bros.
Yeah.
oh man. All
Yeah.
right, fam. I got to run, but no, I think
Yeah.
that's passport. That'll be fun. I'll talk to you guys later.
All
All right. See
right,
ya.
see you
Thank you.
guys.
Bye.
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 Bye.